Moscow's jails overwhelmed with detained Navalny protesters.
Here's a summary of the article.
Moscow. The video, shot by a man detained in a Moscow protest, shows a group of people jammed into a police minibus. Advertisement. We were detained on January 31 during a peaceful protest, and we asked for help and public attention to the inhumane conditions we're forced to be in, pleads the man in the police minibus video. Some of the protesters were beaten on the streets by riot police or subjected to other abuse. The news outlet Meduza on Friday cited court data saying that 972 people have been handed jail terms in Moscow on misdemeanor charges in connection with the protests, and the number is likely to grow. The first crisis occurred when police vans and buses were driving around Moscow anxiously and jails didn't let them in. They didn't know where to put people, Litvinovich told the app. Some people were brought back to police precincts. Some were standing the whole day inside police vans near the jails. Some got lucky and they were given food and taken to toilets. Some didn't have luck and they had to pee in a bottle. Sentenced to 15 days in jail for participating in Tuesday's protest, Shelementsev sent out the short video Thursday morning from the cell where 28 people were being held, awaiting transfers. It's the beginning, it's not just the first time. It's the beginning of the process when these jails will be always full. I think people will keep protesting and authorities will remain brutal, she said.
This post received a score of 18,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
These sort of jailings only radicalizes people. This was a stupid move on Putin's part as it only increases the opposition's resolve and their numbers.
Putin is becoming irrational and scared.
Poison Putin pants.
Vladimir Putin, poisoner of underpants. Interesting that they all have their phones. They take your shit immediately in the US.
When I was in central booking they took my phone and made me take my shoes off. I went to put them back on and the cop, on guard duty, yelled at me and made me take them off again. I'm realizing now that we might be a little extreme here with how we treat detainees. US Leo in the justice system is an atrocity.
Most Western countries will get you to take your shoes off and take personal possessions off of you. I'm pretty sure the shoe thing is so that you can't use laces to hang yourself, but I could be wrong.
That's the reasoning in the US.
Can Aslo.
Some photos of the overcrowded cells.
This shit just pisses me off.
It pisses me off that it has gotten to a point where this is necessary. But you know what? The fact that they are making a stand for what they believe in with minimal violence and the fact that there are so many arrested that they're overflowing jails is sending a strong message. That the people are tired of this shit and are starting to rise up. The typical tactics of suppression and deflection are losing their effectiveness and continue down that path at your own peril.
Hopefully this gives them time to coordinate and become even angrier.
And recruit some other prisoners. Enter COVID stage left.
Think that might be intentional? Get 'em all infected, let it run rampant?
Throughout history Russia has repeatedly shown a willingness to slaughter its people in absurd numbers for security of the state. This is just another expression of that. They can't continue to challenge Putin if they're sick, dying or dead.
Bloody Sundays helped move public opinion for both the October Revolution and the Irish independence movement. The Boston Massacre had a similar effect in the case of American independence. If you're trying to quell dissent, this is one way it can spectacularly backfire.
You are allowed to keep your phone in jail.
It's jail, not prison. Jail is the pre-trial holding cell. So they aren't guilty yet. Prison is where you go after you have been found guilty.
Till, thanks. I always thought that was just a synonym.
In a lot of cases it is. If you're being held for a very short period it would be in a holding cell or something, which this appears to be, but in a lot of countries including US, people who are guilty but are only going to serve a few weeks or months, generally less than a year, will serve that time in jail. So this is more complex than chained radio host makes it out to be.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.